All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
The honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to you, brothers, doing the work of sincerity and in truth. The hopeful elect, the brothers waiting every day patiently for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua to return, so we can get out this place. Peace and salutation to you, brothers. Brothers, it's the spirit, is on brothers. The world, in the way it is now, we're in a time where it's no time to waver, how about Shai? If there's anything we did and do or we have, how about Shai? He at least had a place or just had a setting that we should have faith in what he said, man, in his word, man. Things and belief of the confidence of the name of Yahweh Shai. Everything can be done through his name, man. So we're as men of the Lord, that's what our requirement is to have is faith in his name, his holy works, man. The things that he says gonna happen, to know, to have confidence, to be strong, to strengthen your mind, not to back away from what's to come, not to be foolishly playing games in this time, man. Not because, really taking the spirit, the wickedness of the world, which is what? Fear. Fear of the world. Not if you have Bashim Shai, because if you have fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai, you'll be establishing more faith every time, man. In the name, man. So guys out here are lollygagging or believing that they got time. Yahweh Bashim Shai say, hey, he's gonna come as a thief in the night, man. So to know that is to know that, hey, you better trim them lamps. I mean, if you're preparing yourself, get ready to get it trimmed. I mean, you know that you're knowing that the times is hard, going to be hard, and it's gonna be weary to some people. Some people gonna fall out. You better muster up that faith. So with Yahweh Shai, so many parables and things and of faith and of we have a lot of examples of our brothers in the scriptures exuding their faith, man. So we're gonna get into the scripture. What you got, bro? Yep. Go ahead.
This is Genesis 21, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Elohim did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here am I. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell of thee. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass, and took of his 2 young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood and the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which Elohim had told him. So he went up, he did it. That was a testimony of his faith. If somebody tells you, if the Most High comes and tells the average person, sacrifice, your only son, most people ain't gonna, do it. So that was a huge test to his faith. And now, this is after the Most High already promised him that he would, have a children, So the Most High told him to sacrifice him. And the fact that he actually, if you keep reading, he was actually up to the point where he actually was about to literally, take Isaac's life. But what the Most High held him back. But that testimony is an example of the faith that he has. And that's the type of faith that we got to have. We got to be willing to do anything the Most High says. If the Most High says, take your grandma out, you got to be willing to do it. If the Most High, say, oh, all right, stop. That's one thing. Because think about it. With the angels, they're told to, slaughter. They don't be like, oh, man, I don't want to. The angels, all right, cool. Then they get their, slaughtering weapons or instruments, and they do it with no problem. You know, an angel don't have. If the angel told the Most High to kill one of the kings of Israel in ancient time, angel, you know, would do it, you know, immediately. But that goes to show, your obedience, you know, shows, you know, your faith. Because when you have faith, when you believe that, okay, I don't know what the Most High got, because you don't always have to understand, you know, what the Most High has in store for you beyond his acts. Moses is another example. You know, Moses got scared sometimes. But Moses said, you know, Moses didn't even want to speak. He said, you know, I was a slow tongue, you know, but the Most High said, you know, you're going to do what I say. And that's how you get built up in the faith.
Go ahead. So he took his, Abraham took his son without wavering. He just got everything that he had to do. He loaded up, man. He got the fire, the wood, because he know if the Heavenly Father could just basically bring him back if he wanted to. So I mean, he had to just go he exuded his faith of what was given to him, what was told to him. So that's what we got to exude. You know, we got a mission, man. We can't stop. We can't waver. You know, you got to be on this. You got to be on the straight and narrow with this thing, man. That's why everybody think it's kind of hard. You think doing this thing is hard. It's hard in the sense of you fighting that spirit that doesn't want you to do it. But time is as short. We can't play with the name of Yahweh Shema Shan, what he's going to do, because you don't. What's about to happen is terror is about to come in this place, and what you gonna do? What you gonna have? What you actually gonna do? You gonna actually give up? You know, when you give up, now you really don't have no defense, all right?
Peace out.
Go ahead, brother Alex. You want to say something?
And I was going to say too, and idol worship. That's one of the biggest displays of you lacking faith. Is, you know, you have, you know, a stone, some wood, something that man made. You putting your faith into that. That's a smack in the face. You know, Yahweh Shai wanted to destroy the nation of Israel when we said, let my anger wax hot against them. He said, I'll, you know, make a nation out of you. You know, Moses, you know, because they was into that idol worship and stuff like that. And after they done seen the miracles, you know, they lost faith. They didn't have faith. They had faith in, you know, these idols. These are the ones that brought us out. You know, so you perform miracles and people still lack faith. You know, that's just like if you have a woman or something like that, and then all of a sudden, you know, you take care of the bills, and then all of a sudden she don't want to, and she want to get another job because she think, you know, you can't handle it, or, you know, she want to take out a loan because she don't have faith. That Most High hates that faithless.
Go ahead. Okay, this is Hebrews 11:23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, he was hid 3 months in his parents because they saw that he was a prophet child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. And by faith, when he was come to years, refused to be called son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And that's the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be refusing to enjoy this pleasure of this mirth that right now motherfuckers wishing that we'll go back to. I was talking to one Jake earlier when he was cutting my grass. He was talking about he wished things go back as they used to be. You know, hey man, we don't want it to go back like it used to be. We wanted the Most High to push this thing even harder.
But well, that's a 2/3. His faith is in America and his day because he's comfortable in this cesspool. You got more?
Kind of a little more. Stephen, the reproach of the Messiah, greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. And that's it.
But you could have.
I can do a little more. By faith, he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
So we forsaken. Hey, brothers could have been ball players, wrestlers. Brothers could have made money out of this place, man. You know, hey, Moses could have been. He could have been king of. He could have just had been in the royal house of Egypt, man. You know, and he could have just lived it up. But the Spirit wouldn't do that, and that's what most of the men of the Lord doing, man. They see the ways of this world. They see what can happen. But they believe in the Lord, man. They believe the sayings in the scriptures. They believe that what was said. So wait a minute, man. And what it is, it's in the spirit, man. Because a lot of Jake don't. 2/3 of Jake, and the rest of the world, well, Jake don't even have the spirit. 2/3 of them won't even do this, man. They don't want to stand out there. They're ashamed. You gotta be, you a man, you be a real man to stand out there on the highways and byways and preach this word. You know, because faith, hey, is not something that's tangible. It's not that you can just touch it in. It's something that it's in the spirit, man. Read that in 11 and 1.
Okay, God. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen.
It's not in your face. It ain't nothing that you can just make a magic wand, or it's just some say, higgle your faith right here. And you can gotcha. And you can do this what you said because you said it. No, it's you believe in the name, and that's what's more counted for you because your belief and your confidence that what you believe that the name was that the Lord said you can do. Now we're not trying to be ball players, rappers, wrestlers. We're not trying to be nothing. But when how about Shai got us here doing, then that's prophets and putting His word out here, man. We're not trying to be the super ladies, man. You know what I mean? We're not trying to be none of that, man. Fabio, you know, we gave. Hey, the scriptures show with the prophets when it's talking to, or the disciples when it's talking to Yahushua. Hey, what did he say? We gave a ball. You know, hey, what we gonna? Basically, what we gonna receive? He said when that's 1928 or
something around there.
Yeah,
1928. He said, you know, you go ahead.
This is Matthew 19, verse 27. It says, Then Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Verse 28. Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration.
You have followed me in the when you got reincarnated who came back in the regeneration in the times of now when the Lord returned. Go ahead, bro.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So it's gonna be a glorious time because you held the faith. Because I have kept the word, man. Of my faith, I shall patience. I shall keep thee from the hour of temptation, man. Right? You got that?
I got another one. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. We have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written. I believe, therefore I have spoken, and we also believe, therefore speak, knowing that He which hath raised Yahweh by Shimei Shai shall rise up also by Yahushua and shall present us unto you, with us, for all things for your sake, that the abundant grace might be through the thanksgiving, may it be rebound in the glory of Yahweh. And we believe, and this reason why we are out there in the highways and hedges. We can't go to the highways and hedges right now because the decree of the governor. But if that shit wasn't out there, we'd be out there on the highways, on the corners, preaching this word. You know, we wouldn't care who's scoffed or whatever, because we believe this, you know, unto death.
And you know, the diligence that you have, you know, shows how the diligence that you display and consistency shows your faith. You know, because you know you're faithful. You know, and the root word of faithful is faith. And here we are, you know, we're right now, you know, us men, we represent the temple. And now, let's say you're building something, you constantly dedicated, you understand, okay, man, this guy truly believes. He believes in himself. You know, if somebody is, doing, exercises and trying to get into the Olympics, constantly, by their dedication, you say, okay, this man truly believes. And, we're showing our faith by constantly, teaching, by constantly staying steadfast, by watching, as well as praying, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Because we know it's just a matter of when, not if. It's a promise. It's already been made, and we seeing promises already coming to pass right now. So, what reason would we have to be faithless?
I just got this one, Sirach 2:12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So the Lord, all He requires of us right now is faith. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, that's all they require of us, because that's what we've been lacking for all these past millennium. And if you don't have that faith, then you're not going to be defended. The Lord doesn't. You don't need to be a big mighty warrior. You don't have to be the slickest talking dude. You don't have to remember every scripture from Genesis to Revelation. All you need to do is have the faith. All right, have it like when King David had it going against Goliath, when Abraham had it dealing with Isaac, and many more of our ancestors.
Yeah, that's because what you just said, the Lord's gonna raise us up to be mighty whenever He wants to. I know. Do you still have that?
Which one?
Hebrews.
Yeah.
Because my precept was in Hebrews chapter 12. Because just like the brothers, what they going into, utilizing faith, you have to take account into what is on your portion, on your plate. And measuring everything what's on it, you want to examine what you can get rid of to execute that faith through your works, in different aspects, and then make you be a better man of the Lord. Make you be more refined, like the brother said, trimming your lamps and trimming that fat off.
You're preparing something.
God.
Because because you believe, and that's why we out here now preparing ourselves, trimming the fat, we're getting prepared for when the bridegroom come, man. Because you can't go in here with. That's why it was like 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. They didn't prepare themselves for the day of the Lord, man. They just thought they can willy nilly and play and kick rocks, and then when the Lord comes, here they come. Didn't I call on your name? Didn't I get a Hebrew name? Wasn't I out there with them brothers from GMS? What like the apostles tell you, GMS is just a name, but still, we're not doing that same thing, When Lord, I was calling your name, and I was calling your name, the Father and the Son, right? But the works, what was your works at? With your faith, because if you have works, faith without works is dead, right?
James.
Right, I got it right here. They said faith without works is dead. So faith without works is dead. So where's your faith and where's your works? But ultimately, it's all up to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We can't tell you who Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai can save, but we know for a fact, from our perspective, of our view, if you're not having your big faith in these times to come, you're gonna be flat on your face. Wavering ain't gonna help you. Wavering, and when the time to take the chip and your hand is out, you can't. You ain't gonna be able to. You ain't gonna be able to put your hand out and take it back and, all right, man. Okay.
I was just joking.
And I was just, yeah. Then take it. Then try to take it out. You can't take it. Well, I'll just take it out when I get time to. Some camps saying that. No. All right. Go ahead. Who got it?
You called it that? You had James?
No.
I had James. What you want?
Yeah.
James 2:18.
Okay.
Yeah,
read that.
Which one?
Oh, that's right. Them brothers had. My brothers, Joe.
Hebrews at what?
12.
12:1? Okay. Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Let us run with the patience and the race that is set before us.
Yeah, that's talking about laying aside all the weight that's on you in this run that we're doing. You can't run a race with weak Timbs on. with weight on, with actual weight on, you know.
Right.
Wet sandals.
You're not prepared for the race.
Okay.
Yes, you're not prepared for this race. So that's all I have.
Looking unto Yahushua, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. For consider him that endureth such contradictions of a sinner against himself, lest ye be weary and faint in your minds. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
And that was good in verse 3 because when your faith is wavering, that means you have a lot extra on your mind. That's one of the main things why your faith is wavering. Okay, you trying to make too much emphasis on what Esau's going to do to you. Okay, looking too far ahead. Okay, he gonna put us in. He gonna bust our door open late at night. He got all these things set up for us, FEMA camps. That's weary on your mindset instead of focus on the W. Okay, focusing on the W. Focus on your family. If you have a family, what should you be doing? Putting in your faith through your works. You know, but with all that, putting that extra, because when you have too much on your mind, that can also weigh you down. That's what leads you to an early grave. You know, that doubt, that extra. You know, like put your running shoes on and be prepared. You know, be prepared for what you're going into. You know, scriptures say knowledge and wisdom, it shall be the stability of thy time. You know, that means you have to build yourself up. You got tore down, now you got to build yourself up. You know, that's it on that.
Okay, God.
What about you, bro?
This is Numbers chapter 13. I'm going to skip around. Let's start with verse 1. It says, And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Yasharallah. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. Skip to verse 17. It says, And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, and to go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwell therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that dwell in, where in tents or in strongholds. So this commandment say, all right, the land of Canaan was promised to us. Right now, the land of Canaan, or even literally to this day, is inhabited by heathens. But the Most High said, all right, I want you to send, I'm going to send spies out there. Now you had spies that came back, and you read in verse 13 and verse 30, it says, And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. So these spies that spied out the land, they was like, man, we can't do this. Verse 32, And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So they too strong for us. But that was a sign of them having faith. Of them lacking faith.
Okay.
You know, David, when he saw Goliath, he didn't say, "Oh man, this guy's a giant. I can't deal with that."
He rebuked everyone else for not having faith.
God.
He rebuked his older brother He rebuked King Saul for not having faith in the Lord for being able to take down Goliath.
And he had so much faith that he didn't even take Saul's
sword, armor.
Yeah, armor.
He said,
right.
I have not been tried in this yet, basically.
Right. That's a huge leap of faith to where you literally going and saying, "Hey, man, I'm with whatever." And here we are. We're entering World War III. And when you have war, you have to have a fearless mind state. You have to understand that, hey, possibly you could die, but you got to understand, ultimately, the Most High will is going to happen regardless. So you're going to have some people that beheaded. You don't thinking yourself like, okay, if I'm beheaded, what if I'm not elect? You think of yourself like, hey, I'm trying to go to get into the kingdom. But here we are. We're going into right now. We're in the spiritual war right now. You know, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You know, carnal means they're not earthly things that you can create and invent and use them against somebody. You know, we're in the spiritual warfare right now. You know, we wrestle with, you know, spiritual wickedness in high places. But the thing is, when you are in warfare, is you have to, even in Esau's military, you know, a Purple Heart is given not to everybody, the ones that's brave. You know, you gotta be, you know, brave and you gotta be bold. I think Hebrews 4 verse 16 or 7 or maybe 16 says, "Let us come boldly before the throne and grace of Yahweh Shai." You know, you gotta come bold. You know, you can simply lose a fight or a war simply by being scared. In the animal kingdom, you got animals that, you know, you can have an animal who are actually small and it scare off the bigger one. You know, simply because the bigger one is afraid and intimidated, and the other one, he's willing and ready to die. You know, so the spies that saw out the land, you know, they saw, you know, giants, but they didn't have faith that they could actually win and overcome. Now, this is in spite of having Yahweh on your side, Yahweh Shai on the side. You think, you know, okay, you basically what you're saying is that, yeah, Yahweh, you big and powerful, everything, but you know those giants, man, they got you.
That's
You know, exactly.
That's Romans 14, I think 23. It says, "Whatsoever is not of faith is of sin." Not having faith is a sin, according to the law. I got it real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I was done.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. So we're supposed to have faith on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai with all of our soul. What does it say? With all of our heart, our soul, and our might. So we're not supposed to be what is the word? Infidel. Literally without faith. We can't be faithless. A woman. That's for them. Not having faith is for females. We're supposed to be men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's what they are. Feminine.
Yeah, that's what the word is. Yeah, feminine, without faith. Yeah. Gabar, you have something?
We can go to. Okay. We'll just go to the. Somebody go get Romans 12 and 2.
12 and 2.
Go to 1. Start at 1. 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High Power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High Power, which is your reasonable service."
It's a reasonable service, man. Everything we're doing is a reasonable service. You know, that's what every Israelite man should be doing out here, man. Okay. We should be out here on the highways and byways preaching. Everybody should have, every Israelite man in the hood, we know, and well, we know, but everybody should be doing this work. The corner should be filled with Israelites prophesying against this place, man. You know, we should be pushing the word. Hey, even the scriptures say, hey, we all come together and praise the Lord and praise Jerusalem. Hey, we've been saved. You know, but you said, look, Jake is all about what? What's the next Jordans? They say, they got the new Jordans coming out on in Atlanta. They lined up on the COVID, on the so-called COVID quarantine, which we know is a hoax. You know what I mean? We know they killing people. You know what I mean? We know now. We know they killing people. We know that the COVID-19 is inside the so-called the vaccine or either the what they call those things,
Cotton swab.
the cotton swab they use for the test.
Kind.
You know, we know that, man. You know, there's reasonable service to do this, man, to prophesy against this devil and all the things he's been doing, all through Tuskegee experiments, all the way down to the little spurs and spats that they did with hanging Jake, you know, on for not doing nothing, you know, innocently. But it's not for and innocent. Well, they didn't do nothing at this time, but they was just doing it to be wicked. We know they're not innocent due to the scriptures saying what say what was the being
no one died being innocent.
being innocent, and what was the righteous cut off? So what was the righteous cut off? Man, and we know for a fact doing this work. What the scriptures say? You're not gonna remove my man, basically my man into a corner anymore, my prophet to a corner no more, man. So we gonna have to just do it. You know what did Howard say about the little girl that they said was dead? He was basically like, man, she's just sleeping. You gotta know, man, he could bring you back instantly. You know?
Oh, can I make a point? Because that reasonable service is basically repaid. You know, reasonable service, that's something you can do as a gesture back to the Lord, so to speak. It's a reasonable service. You know, for everything that Yahushua has done for his men or for the elect, our reasonable service is to do what we're doing now. You know, it just comes with it.
It comes with it. Yeah, right. You got something else? Say?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Continue. Verse 2.
Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High Power.
Well, don't be conformed. Don't try to model yourself or form yourself or put yourself. Don't be a part of this world, man. Break that chain. Break that bind that's getting you one toe into the truth and the other nine in the world. You know, if you're in the truth, you can't have one half of a toe in the world, man. You can't be the party man Israelite, man.
You gotta take the whole leap of faith.
Right. Because that means you'll eventually look back. You know? You'll look back into the world. You'll look back and see what you're missing. The girl, and all of a sudden Satan got that girl that you like and she about to get destroyed, but you want to save her, but you rather not go on the ship. Like they said, the guy Boosie said, if he can't eat pork or something, man, he don't want to serve a guy like that. Man, his God is money, man.
God.
You know? They playing themselves, man. For these riches on this earth, man. He said, put your treasures up in heaven.
That's right.
Store them up in heaven, man. Store them up in the heavenly things. Because those are things that's going to matter. When the scriptures tell you what, the third chapter, 2 Peter 2 and 10, or 3 and 10,